Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your tarot reading for August 2023. So, this month is a very intense month for everybody because we are going through a transformation. And this transformation is based on our own inner vision, and there's nobody else that can really understand what each other is going through. It's our own personal vision, and we have to create the blueprint to get there that's going to create the transformation in our lives. And this is created through following our creative vision and living in our authenticity, despite what may fall away when we embrace our authentic selves. So, everyone's not really making sense to each other at this time because everyone just has this vision for themselves and they're all going through it in their own way. For you, it's happening in your career and your financial goals, what brings value to you. And this has been a huge transformation because you have big dreams and big goals, especially when it comes to your career. And there are a lot of things that you've had to give up in order to uh, start moving towards that. There's a lot of friendships, a lot of situations where you may have compromised your own value without even really realizing it. It was just the way you've always hung out with these people, or you've always worked these kind of jobs or whatever, and it's like you have compromised yourself and accepted less than what you really deserve in relationships and in other situations. And you've always known how great you are. You've always known how big you have the potential to become, but you have compromised yourself and kind of played small to protect the people around you. Maybe they benefit from you staying where you are, or they you don't want to deal with the fighting or the jealousy that would arise when you actually showed people who you really are or how much potential you have. So please excuse my cat. So Pluto is in your second house, and it's really this period when it's moved back into Capricorn and it's retrograding and it's going to eventually move back into Aquarius. You're kind of reevaluating all these things, and you're like, okay, I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of having less than what I deserve. I'm tired of compromising myself for situations in a way that where I'm almost bearing the burden for other people. You are like, you don't want to shine as bright as you can because you know that it will make this person jealous, or you know that you pushing towards your highest goals and your highest levels of success, you know that that is a mirror to the other people around you of what they would be able to achieve had they applied themselves in the same way. And it's like you're kind of bearing the brunt of that burden for people when you really don't have to, but it's like you're holding people's lessons. It's like, I know you'll feel bad if these things happen, so I'm going to bear it for you. I know that if I leave this situation, like these people need to learn the lesson of having you not there, of if people have leaned on you for a crutch in a work situation, or in any situation really, if people rely on you and rely on your talents and your work ethic and these kinds of things, and you know that if you, even though you want more, you know if you left that situation, you'd kind of be pulling the rug out from under them. Or if you have played small in your friend circles because you know that, and this is more in like an inner level, it's not something maybe you think about all the time, but it's definitely something that's there, where you know if you shine bright to your fullest extent and go after your full potential, that, well, you'll have to leave a lot of people behind that aren't willing to come up to that level of success with you. But also, it's mirroring to them their own potential or lack thereof, and then fighting can ensue because of that. So it's like you're compromising yourself in situations, and this transformation, Pluto in your second house, is really telling you to let yourself transform, let yourself be who you are, and not compromise your talents and your sense of value because of what burden other people would go through if you were to go for your dreams. So it's like, it's almost like the sense of bearing other people's karma. I don't really like to use that, but it's like, yeah, bearing other people's burdens, bearing other people's lessons. It's like you are wise enough to see why people are the way they are, and you've all of this has been shown to you, especially with the retrograde planets now. All of this has been shown to you. You know why people are in the positions they're in, why they're stuck in the positions they're in. You know what role people play in your life and you theirs, and it's like you, because you have the ability to see what all these people are going through or how they would react and respond to certain things. It's like you're bearing the burden. It's like you know that if you left this job to go pursue something else, you know that it would cause your coworkers or your boss to have to learn a lesson about how they run their work environment or how they treat their employees or something like this. And it's like you're kind of bearing the brunt of that for them and protecting it for them. But you can't do that. You have to release it at some point. You have to allow yourself to pursue what you want to pursue without worrying what others will not just think of you as a result, or but without worrying about how others are going to respond to it, without worrying about if somebody sees how successful I've become, if somebody sees that I've got this great job or I've earned this amount of money, or somebody sees how happy I am and how strong I've become, that they're going to start to resent me. Things like that. You you have to let it go, and that's what this month is all about, is trusting in your authenticity, because you're frustrated with holding yourself in these positions, with bearing the burden. It's like people will allow you to compromise yourself when it's like you can see through. It's like, I'm only here Because if I were to leave, it would put you through some kind of tower moment or something of this nature. It's like, if I'm only here to save you from yourself, and yeah, it's, you have to let it go. It's like you have goals that you want to achieve, and you can't be stuck bearing the brunt for everyone else, and you can't stay in the past forever. And it sucks to have to let things go, and it sucks to have to change your environment. It sucks to, especially if you feel like a lot of the situations you're transforming now are really your comfort zone, and they're things you've been accustomed to dealing with in your day to day. They're people that you've cared about for a long time. It's comfortable to go to this job every day. It's decent. It might be draining and exhausting, and I know I could achieve more, but things are comfortable. And there's also this tendency to get stuck in like the past. So it's like you want to move on. And as much as you're like, okay, I'm frustrated with my environment, I'm frustrated with people treating me as less than I really deserve, I'm frustrated with compromising myself in situations. It's like at the same time, you're like, but this has been everything I've known. These are my good friends. And it hurts to not be able to take everyone with you. It does. And it hurts to know that by you doing what you really want to do and expressing yourself in the way you want to express yourself and achieving the high aspirations that you have for yourself, it feels almost like you're doing other people dirty, because it's like that guilt that comes with success and not being able to take everyone with you. So it's like you can get trapped in this space where it's like, oh, maybe I should dial back my expression, or dial back how hard I'm going for my goals, or dial back um, how much, like, you can earn a certain amount, but you want to dial back a little bit because you don't want to be too successful. You don't want to rub people the wrong way by just simply being yourself. And so you can feel like you're doing people dirty just based on being successful, because these people don't know that about you. It's something that you have, like, you've compromised yourself, you've played yourself small for so long, all the while knowing what you really wanted to do and how much money you really wanted to make, what kind of friendships you really want to have, what kind of life you want to live, but you've been compromising yourself. So these people don't really know that aspect of you. And when you unleash this potential and it comes out, it's going to be like, whoa, like, where did this come from? Like, that you changed the situation. Like, just yesterday, we were gossiping about stuff. Like, let's say, for example, you have people in your life that like to gossip, but you don't really, but you kind of entertain it because it's your environment, it's what you always know. And there was a time where you really connected with these people, but you're growing and changing, and you have these different visions for your life, and you have a newfound sense of self-esteem and value, to the point that you don't find any satisfaction in gossiping about others or things like this. So it's like when you go into these situations with your friends or your current environment, and you just kind of have to be like, yeah, 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 when people are gossiping or whatever. Meanwhile, you're thinking about like how this doesn't really serve a purpose to me anymore. I don't want to be in this energy and I want to get out. And you're secretly like planning how you're going to leave this situation. Sorry, my cat. But you're planning how you're going to leave a situation. And so when you finally do, because you've just been kind of secretly in the background going through this transformation, learning more about your value, learning more about your creative expression, learning more about who you want to be, really, you don't want to visualize it anymore. You don't want to just fantasize about it or think about it. You want to actually start doing it. And because you've spent so much time in this background of thinking about it, visualizing it, sitting here, compromising yourself in social situations and things like that, you're like, okay, now I've spent so much time thinking about it. I've already mastered it in my mind that I'm just going to go do it. And it's going to come out of nowhere. And people are going to be like, whoa, you've changed. Like, what do you mean you don't want to come out partying with us every weekend? What do you mean you're working on this? Like, and over time, these people are going to start to fall out of your life because it's just not aligned. And the people that are meant to come with you will come with you. So when it comes to feeling like you're doing other people dirty by achieving your success and not playing yourself small, you don't need to feel that way. It's just mirroring. You've been holding on to other people's burdens secretly because you have the ability to see what role you play and how you're kind of it's kind of withholding lessons from them. Like I said, if it's a work situation and your boss has a terrible work culture and you know that if you say something and leave, the cards will kind of come tumbling down for them. So you've been kind of holding it together and it benefits you because it's a safe and secure place. You're not kind of sure. You've spent a long time with one foot in, one foot out. You've been kind of cooking this vision for your life secretly without anybody really knowing. And at the same time it's kind of withholding lessons from people because your success and your ability to take control creatively and move towards the success you actually want is a mirror to them. When they see you take a stand and leave a situation or start building up your career success or your financial success or finding relationships that truly align with you, when you start doing these things, it really reflects to them. And it really, all these lessons that they haven't had to learn because you've been playing yourself small in situations, they start to come all up in their face. So you don't need to feel this guilt. The guilt really is coming from the fact that you've been holding it together for people for so long because you have the wisdom and the vision to understand the larger picture of a situation. And it's kind of worked to your detriment because you've been holding it all together. And as much as it seems like it might be a service to people, it's a disservice to everyone involved. And the people that do want to grow with you, the people that are on your level, they will grow with you and they will want to come on this journey with you and you will find success with them. And not only that, but you'll find new people that are aligned with you, people that if you want to stop partying all the time or something like this, you'll meet people that are also on that journey in their life where they're trying to build something different in their life. And so as much as it feels like a loss to maybe go through this transformation and feel like you're losing so much, especially at the sake of you're not even really, all you're doing is allowing yourself to grow into the person you want to be. there was a time when you were this person, when it wasn't really compromising yourself like consciously, where this was the person you are. You enjoyed these friends groups, you enjoyed this job, or you thought that was the way that you should make money, or you thought that's what you deserved. But now, through these retrogrades and really reevaluating your self-worth and your creative aspects of yourself and what you really want to do, it's you've outgrown that, and you've outgrown that privately without really telling anyone. It's been this slow transformation, and you've visualized it for so long, you've planned it for so long in your head, but you haven't actually started to do it. And now you're just growing out of it, and it's natural, and it feels like a bigger burden than it is, especially at this time. There's a lot of tension, but you can't hold on to people's burdens forever. You have to work on your success, and you have to trust in your own self and your own sense of self-worth, your authenticity, and your vision, and not worry about what people might say about that, or how people will respond to it, because at the end of the day, it is just you mirroring the potential they also have in themselves. It's lessons that have been there all along, but you've kind of been holding through your own wisdom and your ability to perceive these lessons in people and in situations. You've known all along that they needed to go through this. So that's how you can really step out of that confidently and allow these transformations to take place, allow the things that need to fall away to fall away, and knowing that this is beneficial for everyone. You're learning what you need to learn, you're doing what you need to do, and so are the other people. They may look at it as, oh, you've changed, or this is a betrayal to them in some way, but really it's like you're just not interested in the things you used to be interested in. You're not interested in drinking all the time. You're more interested in self-care and self-development, and people can take that the wrong way, but really ultimately that is their burden to bear, and that is their lesson to bear, and you can't compromise yourself in situations because it's keeping you stuck. You've seen the potential. You know where this transformation is taking you. All you have to do is start putting in the work. All you have to do, you've been this vision has been brewing for so long behind the scenes, privately, that you once you start doing it, you already know what to do. It's just like you've already built the roadmap and walked the roadmap in your mind so many times. You know exactly what to do to get there, and it will happen really quickly once you put yourself first and stop compromising yourself for the sake of others, and start, yeah, putting yourself first, putting the work in. You know the blueprint. Like I said, you've walked it so many times in your mind. You know what it takes. And it's not always easy. For some people, it's going to be easier than others. But just know that this is what's necessary. The people that are going to criticize you or try to hold you back in the place you were, because this is a Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, or sorry, six. Like, this is just the natural progression for you. So anybody who tries to hold you back from that is not somebody that's meant to come along with you, and it's somebody that needs to be taken out of the equation as you go through this transformation. And try not to get stuck with one foot in, one foot out. With the Two of Wands here, it's like it's very easy for you to, on one hand, be working on your craft and pursuing it and building that vision, but then getting stuck in the way things used to be. And you're really going through a transformation that is not only relevant to your career and your financial success, but also to your inner worth and your inner value. So, in a lot of ways, it can seem like you're starting over again because there are a lot of things that are being transformed as you transform your sense of value and really step into your power and take your emotional energy back and release the burden of other people's lessons. It can really feel like you're starting over, but you, like I said, you've walked this roadmap so many times that it's going to happen very easily for you once you put both feet in. And know that you don't have to feel guilty for your success. You can't put yourself on hold, your greatness on hold, because you don't know how others will react to it. So keep working towards your vision. You've been going through this transformation privately in your mind. You know the vision you want for your life. You've been staring at it for so long, building it up in your mind. It's time to bring it down in reality through your actions, through planning. And things will come very quickly for you once you start to do that. And as much as you may be worried about leaving the past or feeling like others are betrayed by your success in some way, just know that you're going to meet people that are actually aligned with you now, that you don't have to feel like you're compromising yourself or holding yourself back for their sake, that you guys can find success together. All right, so that's what I have for you this month. Thank you for watching. If you would like a personal reading, I will link it in the description below, and I'll see you next time.